everyone, and welcome to Alistair Davies Golf. Today's video is all about transition, and it forms part of a series of videos I'm doing on transition, kind of working from the ground up, looking at what the body does, leading into what the club does in transition, the kind of key area, one of the key areas in the golf swing. Often talked about, and obviously I'm just trying to add some clarity and add some different drills and thoughts to how we can move correctly in the golf swing. So today's video is focusing really on the hips, what the hips role is during transition and how they're going to move, and also add into that some drills you can do to help your transition with your hips. So as you might have seen in my first video, we talked about the kind of downswing kind of starting 0.1 or 0.2 seconds before the backswing finishes. So as the arms kind of are finishing the very end of the backswing with the upper body, the lower half is kind of just slightly starting 0.1 or 0.2 seconds before that happens. Now this is with a skilled golfer. As you probably see when we watch anybody on a driving range on a golf course, we'll see that this wouldn't happen, but we'd like it to happen. So this is all about creating a higher clarity, more understanding, and giving you some feels to help this happen more. So the hips, we're going to talk about the hips in kind of the 4D world. So the hips are going to work kind of laterally towards target. They're going to rotate again, so we face more towards target. They're going to move slightly upward, and they're going to move with speed. So that's the 4Ds of the hips and how they're going to move. So in transition, we're really going to start to see, as we get to the top of the backswing, the hip, particularly the left hip, is going to move in what I'd call like a lateral bump towards target. And it's going to kind of move away and separate from our upper body and our head and our arms. And we see this. And this is quite often called the X factor stretch. So in case you're not familiar with this, the X factor is kind of the upper body winding against the lower body, and we create a resistance. Then we would stretch away further in this transition period, then we go to catch up. Now, different players will stretch and catch up different amounts. Certainly in the past, we always talked about the greater the recoil of this, the kind of more power people created. But we still have to be able to apply this force. So it's not a certainty just for power. It's kind of part of the matrix that makes power. So from the top of the swing, we'd want to see the hips do this. Now the hips are kind of moving with the feet and with the knees, so there's a kind of the hips dragging the feet and knees, and we can talk about whether we push with the right leg or pull with the left. Different people will feel it different ways. And kind of how we look at it is, if you think of a horse dragging a cart, you know, a horse and cart type scenario, does the horse pull the cart, or does the horse push the harness that pulls the cart? And it's a bit like this. Does the right leg push the left leg, or does the left leg pull the right leg? And what we see with some players, especially some of the more olden day players, we used to see like a little bit of a separation, then a catch up. So I don't mind if the left knee moves on its own and then the right feet goes, but it will be in such a small, minute split second that it'll be difficult to see. What I'd say the biggest thing to focus on would be more making sure that we get our kind of tailbone, our hips, moving towards target efficiently and to a decent amount. So if I put my club up here, and I'll draw a line up here on the video too, so it's up the kind of outside of my left foot, I'd want to see the hip bump to that point before it really starts to rotate. So there's a bump, then a rotation, and then a raise. So these moves would all happen. So we have the forces moving kind of down into the ground and more towards target. Then they move, as we rotate, up and towards target. So the extension of our body and our straightening of our left leg and our posting of our left leg, as is quite often talked about, kind of happens in this kind of sequence. So right leg push, left leg pull, I don't really mind. But what I'd say to you is, if you stand there and put your hands across your chest and make some leg moves like this, and if you kind of rest your club against your hip here and try and feel like you're pulling that club to the floor, what do you feel moves it for you? Is it the left leg or the right leg? Now, if you feel it's your left leg, then that's kind of the thought for you. If you feel your right leg pushes you off the ground and pulls that club to the ground, then that's maybe what you would do. So I don't mind which thought you have. This is not Alistair Davies says this is how it is. This is a case of this is how you should move. What feels does it generate for you? How can you use that then to better your golf? So one of my favorite drills for this, obviously I use a lot of body drills for this as well, but one of my favorite drills to get this working is what I call the step and hit. Simply like this. So how you should play this is if you take your stance, and we're going to have the ball in our head about 12 inches behind where it is, and I'm going to get you to take a narrow stance. Now the reason we're setting that behind the golf ball is because when I actually step out, that ball is now going to be in the center of my stance as it would be normally. So we'll step in here. As I swing up, step to the side, and then I'm going to swing through. This is going to give me the firing pattern of feeling my hip and my weight going to my left side before I finish my backswing. So let's just try a ball doing that. Let me get my setup. So I'm behind the golf ball, narrow stance. And as I said, as soon as I started my backswing, I started to feel my left foot move. I'm not looking for a huge height in my left foot. It's a simple move. And the move will give me this lateral movement. And one of the great body drills you can also do for this would be hands across your chest, swing back, stamp and turn. And this kind of stamp, force and make good noise will give you the feelings of loading this left glute, moving yourself laterally and the lower half beating the upper half. Again, think of baseball. If we're hitting the baseball shot, this should be pretty natural. As soon as we get into a bent position, a bent condition, forces into the ground, tension, then we'll feel that we won't want to move, we won't want to prepare and load our backswing up to allow us to move in the downswing correctly. So just feeling how we should move, using our hands, using our body, is a great way of understanding how the body should move through the golf swing. Throwing balls, throwing med balls will help all this. So have a go at this drill. Hope this helped the clarity of what moves where and why. Make sure you watch the rest of this series on transition. I'm excited to be doing it. If you've enjoyed the video, please click thumbs up down below. If you have any comments, especially of any future videos you'd like me to cover, please post them in the comments box. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I've got regular content coming every single week. And thanks for watching.